Okay. Hi everyone, thank you for joining this BVNA interview for VNAM, whether you're watching this as a video or listening through a podcast. My name's Declan, I'm a council member for the BVNA. For this year's Veterinary Nursing Awareness Month, we're celebrating progression, which is our presidential theme for the year. It's also the 20th anniversary for VNAM, where awareness of what veterinary nurses do is raised. To mark this special year, we're delivering a series of interviews with inspiring registered veterinary nurses who've been part of the profession for 20 years or more. We'll be reflecting back on where the profession has been and where veterinary nursing can go into the future. I'm joined today by Donna Lewis, an RVN with an amazing range of experience, including being my tutor when I was in SVN. So, hi Donna. Do you want to introduce yourself and walk us through some of the bits and bobs that you've done?
Hi Declan, thank you for having me and for inviting me to come along and speak to you this evening. Like you said, I've been a veterinary nurse for, well, quite a long time. I think we discussed it earlier. We said we'd call me vintage rather than old. And I quite like the idea of being a vintage model.
Yeah.
But I have been in this profession now for over 40 years.
Amazing. Yeah.
So
Long time.
yeah, a lot of changes.
Yes, definitely. When and how did you qualify?
Well, believe it or not, I've been working in practice for over 20 years before I was actually ever given the opportunity to go to college. And that really was something that my boss at the time decided and enrolled me without even discussing it with me. So I was very happy. But they enrolled me and I went to the College of Animal Welfare at Potter's Bar. On day release, which I actually hated going to school. I used to bunk off, if I'm allowed to say that, as often as I could to play with my animals. But when I actually went to college, the first day, I was petrified. I was so scared, and because I hadn't been to school for such a long time. And I never, ever, ever in the whole 2.5 years I was at college, never had a day off sick. I absolutely loved going to college. Probably the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
And to be honest, even though, like you said, I taught you, if I had the opportunity to go back and do it all again, I would. Even now, if someone said to me, do you want to go back to college? I'd say yes.
Amazing. That's definitely the mark of like something where it's gone well, where you're happy to go back. But you know what? Yeah, I'll definitely do it again, for sure. Amazing.
Definitely. Yeah.
So what kind of progression have you seen in kind of the veterinary nursing progression then over that time?
Well, in short, I suppose, I think I've seen lots of changes. Obviously, you know, we haven't got all night, and that's what it would take for me to tell you about all the changes that I have seen, from drugs to the way we handle animals. I mean, you know, years ago we used to scruff cats and now we don't. And you know, they used to, when I first started nursing, a lot of people used dog catchers, which is a bit barbaric. But I think the main thing that really rings with me is how nurses are now looked upon as professionals, which I truly believe years ago wasn't the case. We were nurses, but I don't think we was respected as nurses, and today we are.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What kind of things do you think it's just changing the culture? Do you think it's the fact that as time has gone on, people have got more educated and we're maybe more confident in what we do? What do you think?
The education, I think people have realised that, you know, we do go to college, we do learn, we do study, and we continue with our CPD, you know, year in, year out, just like the vets do.
Indeed.
And I hate to say old school, because like I just said, I'm vintage myself, but I think now, vets in vet school learn more about nurses. They must do, because they give us the respect that we deserve, I think, now today.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely something that I've heard from when we have students in, or even like talking to some of the lecturers at some of the vet schools. It is something they're trying to do more, is encourage them to talk about nurses, because we're such a big part of the job and there's so much communication between us, for sure. Yeah.
Exactly, for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. So where do you see the future of veterinary nursing going then?
Veterinary nursing, I think what I would like to see, I don't think it will be in my lifetime, but I like to think that it will happen one day, that we have a Royal College of Veterinary Nurses. You know, so at the moment, I know we have RCVS, which I'm on VN Council, but that is part of RCVS. It would be nice if we just had our own Royal College of Veterinary Nursing.
Yeah, it's what they do in the human, isn't it? It's just the Royal College of Nursing, isn't it?
Exactly. And I think it will happen. Don't think it'll happen in my lifetime, but I think it will happen, because we're progressing so much. If you go back many years to when we had RANAs, if you look at how much we've progressed since then, I think eventually it will happen.
Amazing. Yeah, I think that would be a big day if anything like that ever happens.
Yeah.
That'd be very exciting. Okay, so do you have any funny stories, or kind of anything interesting or funny that's happened over the past kind of 20 years, or anything nice?
Well, again, I actually have thought about writing a book of all the funny stories that I've got, because I've had many stories, many funny stories, many sad stories, many you know, I've had some witnessed some horrible things. But recently, so as you know, I taught you, I've taught reproduction, I've taught breeding, and recently I'm living at my late father's property, which is like a small holding, and I've had a feral cat adopt me. I haven't managed to stroke her yet. She actually will intertwine between my legs, but that's about as far as we get. And I thought to myself, I wonder if this cat's spayed. Anyway, lo and behold, 8 weeks ago, because I've written it on the calendar, she started calling. And even though, like I said earlier, I've taught breeding, reproduction, and you know what calling is, I've never actually witnessed it, because let's face it, the majority of cats are spayed.
Yes.
I could hear her making this noise, and she was going on. It actually, you wonder if the animal's in trouble. And then one night I was sitting eating my tea, and I looked out of the window, and there was about 5 cats outside my kitchen window, all making this well, it's like Glastonbury for cats. There was just so and I don't know where they came from. I've never seen them before. I've lived here for 2 years, never seen them before, and I haven't seen them since that night. That was 8 weeks ago tomorrow. So I've got 1 week. I've got 1 week left. She doesn't. I don't think she looks pregnant, but she's not calling anymore. So I'm a little bit worried. But I'll let you know how I get on. Whether I'm going to wake up one morning with all feral cats. But it was educational for me, because you see cats calling, and you hear about it, you talk about it. I've never seen it, and then all of a sudden, from nowhere, cats that I've never seen before appeared. About 4 of them. They just appeared. They had one night, whatever they was up to, and then I've never seen them since. Nature is unbelievable, and you know, I've had lots of funny stories during my career. You know, far too many to sit and talk to you about this evening, but. Yeah, I've had some. I'd have to say, I've had a wonderful career, and being part of this profession is very, very special. And I think we're all very lucky to work in the industry that we do.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I mean, that kind of ties in really nicely then. So thinking about protect the title, you know, it's well, what does it mean to you? You know, protect the title.
Protect the title would be amazing, because it's something that we've been talking about, we've been campaigning for now for such a long time. And again, I think it will happen. Because we're not letting it go. The nursing profession is pushing and pushing, and we're not letting go. And we've been in the House of Lords talking about it, and it will happen. But I just don't think it'll happen anytime soon. But I truly believe in my heart it will happen, and the title will be protected.
Yes, yeah, I think that's right, isn't it? It's the perseverance of the people keep on trying.
Yeah.
It's not losing sight of it. I think it's something that you could easily lose sight of that kind of
Yeah.
thing, where it's
It's
such a long chronic, well, not chronic, but
the government have so many things going on, and protecting our title is probably right at the bottom of their like a little
sure.
dot on the pecking order. They have so much going on. But if we keep pushing and pushing and pushing, eventually we must start climbing up that ladder and be a priority. And I do believe it will happen.
Yes, yes, yes. Just keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Donna. Thank you. That's been brilliant. And thank you to everyone else who's joined and helping us celebrate VNAM for this year, 2024, 20th anniversary. Make sure you follow all of our social media and check out the BVNA website for details on how you can get involved in this year's campaigns and the competition. But again, thanks, Donna. Thank you very much for spending your time this evening. It's lovely to
Thank you for
talk to
having
you.
me. You're more than welcome.
Fab. Lovely. Cool. Well, take care.